Ask Reddit. People of Reddit, what are some of the guy code and girl code unwritten rules that you always follow? Should a bro die in a weightlifting related accident, a bro will add at least 100 pounds to the bar before reporting the incident. Be generous with your closest friends. Buy them an occasional beer or their favorite soft drink without keeping score of whose turn it is to pay. Bingo. I make a lot more money than my best friend. We don't talk about it, and I never throw anything in his face, but if I want to go to a baseball game with him, or take a road trip, he knows that not being able to afford it doesn't have to be a reason for not going. He's my bro, and I've got him covered. If another lady walks past, and you notice a blood stain on the back of their pants/skirt, tell them, but do it discreetly. Recently noticed a passenger had a spot on her pants. Wrote her a note and slipped it to her as I was collecting trash from the carriage. Half hour later, I see her again, and she has a different change of pants on. She was super thankful. This takes me back 20 years. Back when I was in high school, I was sitting behind this girl in history class. She leaned forward to talk to the person in front of her, and I saw she had a bunch of red paint on the seat of her pants. Krista, you must have sat in paint or something. You have red paint all over the back of your pants. Said in a not loud, but not discreet manner. She just bolted from the room starting to cry. I thought, the fuck was that about? The teacher just looked at me and gave me the head shake and hand wave to not worry about it. It wasn't until years and years later, after I'd learned about women's biology and that memory came back to me, that I realized what I had done to the poor girl. I felt bad about it ever since. If somebody loans me money, it's my job to remember to pay back, not this to collect. Upwards nod equals we're friends, and I'm acknowledging you. Downwards nod equals I don't know you, but I'm acknowledging you. If you see a girl with her skirt tucked into her tights, tissue stuck to her shoe or lipstick on her teeth, tell her. This happened once in college when I was working retail. I was leaving the store's restroom, and one of my coworkers, who was always a nasty bitch to me for whatever reason, had tucked her skirt into her underwear. I debated whether or not to say anything, and then went with my gut and alerted her of the situation. She was always super nice to me after that. Guy code. Don't try to get with someone else's partner. Always give at least one space for urinals. Head nod. If someone offers to pay, you should ask them if they are sure. If they are, then it is rude to further reject what is supposed to be a kindness on their part. I got the bill. Are you sure? Yeah. Don't worry about it. Thank you. Unless you are Chinese/Cantonese, then you just elbow each other to the counter to be the first to pay, and or you give your credit card to the staff before you've even ordered. When a girl says I won't tell anyone, what she really means is I won't tell anyone except my best friend. Source: girl. I won't tell anyone that you know. If you hear anything about a girl having a thing for your bro, you tell him immediately. I don't care if you're in the jungle with no cell phone service. You walk back to the nearest cell phone tower and let him know so he can get laid. Never steal a bro's large fry or the accidental curly fry. If your friends help you move, you are expected to A. Be packed already, and B. Provide pizza and beer. LMAO. I hate how many times I've showed up to help friends move, and they have nothing packed, and not enough boxes. What should take a couple hours turns into an all-day marathon. Treat your friend's girl as if she's a guy. Guy code. Never try to get with a friend's past flame without explicit discussion and permission. Gas your friend up when their crush is present. Driver gets the aux cable until responsibility is delegated. Heart to hearts are for after 3 AM. My girlfriend was telling me last night that she always carries an extra pad or tampon because you'll never know when another woman may need one and not have one. She said it's an unwritten rule for women that even if you hate the person, you will give them one if they need it. Got me thinking, what other unwritten rules have I not heard of? Edit. Front page y'all. Cue my sister. She carries two kinds of pads and tampons for backups. For the people she likes, she carries the fairly nice stuff that she uses herself. for the people she doesn't like. She carries the cheapest nastiest dollar store tampons and pads you can imagine, made out of cardboard and orphan tears. Yeah, my sister is petty. Girl code. If something is fixable within 5 minutes, makeup, something stuck in teeth, small things on appearance, you tell her and help her if needed. If it isn't fixable on the spot, you keep your mouth shut and especially don't point it out to others. Last slice of pizza or last pop/beer always goes to who paid for it. If you all chipped in, you don't have to ask, but you have to tell. And never take both in the same hangout, no matter what the earlier rules say. Never mess with the music in another person's car. Don't care how crap you think their taste is. If you know someone else had a regrettable hookup, no you don't. Not even if you fall out and become enemies. You don't remember. No, haven't seen him at the pub. I only had one chance to exercise this girl code rule, but once I was passing a girl in the lobby of a building, and she told me that she had just gotten a straight perm and was waiting for the rain to pass before she went outside. So I let her share my umbrella for 4 to 5 blocks while we walked to a bus stop together. I would do that for any woman if it happened again. Perms are $200 plus, can take up to 3 hours, and are ruined if you get them wet within 48 hours of having the procedure done. When your best friend dies, you have to delete his internet history. Common courtesy. If you sell a buddy a car or anything of value cheaper than normal because they are a friend, that friend must offer to sell it back to you before offering it to the general public. My grandpa gave me a car, and when my brother needed a car I gave it to him. When my sister needed a car he gave it to her. When it needed brakes and exhaust work she took it to the junkyard and kept the money. I'm still bitter. That car had enormous sentimental value. It was a 1990 Oldsmobile 98. It was so fucking cool. Ugh. If a guy needs a tampon, you give it to him, no questions asked. I'm from the south so some of mine are probably southern type of things. Don't kill an animal unless you are going to eat it. Unless he starts it, you must defend your friend in a fight regardless of the odds. If he started it, you intervene before he gets fucked up to bad, but only enough to extricate him from the situation. If you go fishing, and it's not your boat, you buy the beer, ice, and bait. For close friends, show up to funerals, weddings, and birthdays, even if you don't want to pay for the bachelor at his bachelor party. If a friend is going through a bad breakup, it is the responsibility of the bro tribe to keep him out of the house as much as possible for the first few months. If your friend is generally a hard-working, industrious guy and they hit a financial rough spot and you can help, you help. In the event of a hurricane or other disaster, assemble the brothers, grab the chainsaws, shovels, coolers, and beer, and go house to house fixing shit. Don't wait for fucking FEMA, do the shit yourself. If a bro is in jail and you can afford to post bail, then you post bail. If a bro is stranded somewhere, you go get him, regardless of what time it is. If you are fighting, no matter what, don't touch the balls. Edit. Of course if someone is trying to kill you, crush these fuckers into a black hole. At least 2 pats on the back when hugging another guy. No sniffing their neck either, it's kind of frowned upon. Unless you are asked and willing to provide further details, keep remarks about the time you spent with someone vague and borderline childish. Example, you've spent a night with your GF. You did everything from oral to new positions to using some of her toys. Your description and summation of all these events can be stated as I got some. You absolutely never share a glass of milk with another man. This is odd. I've never seen such a foreign concept brought to my doorstep that I immediately agreed with. Brothers before hoes, but not before wives. Sure it sucks when a buddy has to stay home for a weekend camping trip, but if his wife's sick and they have a 3-month-old, it's probably best that he keeps his family's interests above your own. Haha. A guy I know is getting married soon and his bachelor party was supposed to be last weekend. Well, his best man couldn't make it as it was 2 weeks before his wife's due date, which everybody knew about before the groom picked the date. So the groom told off the best man and uninvited him from the wedding because he chose his wife and possibly the birth of his first child instead of camping along a river getting drunk. If their bedroom door open, be careful to sound your approach before popping in. Never know what he's up to. At urinal, dick in hand, don't talk to me, man. If you see another girl in an uncomfortable situation, you try to get her out of there or at least let her know that you got her back. I've done it for everyone, from my sister, to my friends' moms. One time at a school event, my best friend's mom somehow ended getting an unsolicited massage from another parent with boundary issues, and I quickly made an excuse up that I needed help at the concession stand. No one is too old or too young to do this. On a more lighthearted side, in my experience, when you hug another girl, you always try to slot the boobs by going slightly to the side so that you don't just mash your chests together and hurt someone. Thou shalt never hold a bro's wingman duties against him. When you're chatting up a girl, I don't care how unattractive the friend he's flirting with is, or how bad his flirting technique is. When he's distracting the air defenses to give you a clear run at the target, you do not insult his flying. Girl code: whenever another girl asks how she looks, if you have something negative to point out, do it gently and follow up with at least one or more positive. You gotta use the sandwich. Compliment, insult, compliment. As a guy that lifts weights and has brought some of his other male and 2 female friends into the fold, you never ever slander another person's weight on any lift. If your friend is 250 pounds and only benches 135 but is trying his ass off, then you never make a sound other than howling intense encouragement at them. The rule in my basement is, everything is heavy to somebody. As long as you're giving it your full ass, then the number is irrelevant. What guy girl code rules do you follow? Leave it in the comments.